Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. This podcast is being brought to you in part by Hamburger Heaven. And say, folks, the next time that we go out to eat, why not Hamburger Heaven? They have the best hamburger, cheeseburger, and fries in town, and finish that meal off with one of their award-winning milkshakes. They have 4 great locations to serve you. The original on Highway 280 in Homewood, Irondale, and Gardendale. And remember what the Snapper always says, for a hamburger that's out of this world, it's Hamburger Heaven. And we're happy to have in this opening segment, of course, we're here at Homewood High School, home of the Patriots. We've got Tim Shepard, the head basketball coach. Coach, for people that might be seeing you for the first time, tell us a little bit about your background and how you've ended up here at Homewood.
Okay, well, I've been here a good long while. This is my 25th year at Homewood. I came via Louisiana, via Oklahoma, via Indiana. So I was raised in Indiana in basketball country and developed a love for the game there, and just had the experiences that took me all those places. I guess I would say it was the Lord's hand, but just had an opportunity to come up here at Homewood from Louisiana, and have been here ever since. A great place to be.
Well, now, going into this year, and how many years is this coaching here?
25. This is
25. Well, you have been around long enough to sort of understand the kind of players you're going to get from year to year. And so talk about this year's team. By the way, what's the record this year?
Our record right now is 15-12.
And so you're right there at a place where you're hoping that your kids are turning the corner and their best basketball lies ahead of them.
That's right.
So talk about this year's team, the makeup of it. Has it surprised you? Or there been any pleasant surprises, or there been some downsides that we could talk about? Because, I mean, let's face it, life has its little ups and downs, but what you end up being, and I think what every coach hopes for, coach, is that your team peaks come playoff time.
Sure.
And so those wins and losses will mean a whole lot more, but if they're mentally and physically ready to compete in the playoffs, that's what you're looking for.
Right. Well, this year's team is young. We graduated 10 seniors off last year's team.
Really?
Team that got beat in overtime by Pinson Valley, who eventually won the state championship, and had Pinson on the ropes, but lost in overtime. And so, we had a lot of new faces, a lot of people coming in for the first time this year. We actually got a couple of freshmen playing on the varsity, so. It's been a growing experience. We've had an 8-game winning streak in there. We've had a couple of periods where we didn't play as well. But I think it's kind of what you said. We're trying to find our footing now, trying to prepare and peak for February, which is, that's when you want to play your best basketball.
Well, Coach, one thing I always enjoy talking to different coaches about their athletes is coaches generally have in mind their style of game they want to play, whether it's up-tempo, heavy defense, be strong on both sides of the ball. Talk about that for you, and because all of this, no matter what it is, you may have a system you want to work, and then you may have a system that you might not have the players where there has to be I guess there's bending and compromise, if that might be a better word, for both the player and the coaches sometimes. But basically, what is your philosophy on what you want out of your basketball team?
Well, I would say that we feel like we want to focus on defense first. We feel like in the game of basketball, there's just nights the ball doesn't go in.
Right.
And you want to give yourself an opportunity, to have a chance to win on those nights. And defense is something you can play every night. So we work a lot on defense. We focus a lot on defense. But then on the offensive end, we're really a team that says, let's see if we can get it up there. And if we can score early, we want to score early in the shot clock, or not in the shot clock, but in the possession. And then if not, we're willing to throw the ball around a little bit to get a great shot, because our bottom line is let's get a great shot. If we can get that in one pass, kick it up the sideline and get a great look, we want to do that. And if it takes us 7 or 8 passes, we got to be willing to do that. And sometimes it does against really good teams. They're not going to give you easy stuff. And so sometimes you got to go deep into possession and be willing to do that.
Well, do you think that this year's team has a possibility, as the season nears the end, to play some good basketball come playoff time?
Yeah, I mean, we came out of Hueytown Tuesday and won by 20 over there on their floor, and played some of our best basketball of the year, and scored 80. We normally don't score 80, actually 81, but we took advantage of opportunities, and so, I think it's just a matter of putting it all together at the right time. And some kids now that were young are more experienced. They've played 27 games of varsity basketball, so we're trying to take it to the finish line. We have a tough area, tough region. Northeast region has 6 of the top 10 rated teams in the state coming out of the northeast region up in Jacksonville. So we realize it ain't going to be easy, but the good thing, we've come through there before and been to Final Fours. The good thing is if you get through there, you have a great chance of winning the whole thing. So that's kind of what we're preaching, the message we're preaching to our kids.
Well, I know you was talking just a moment ago about the fact that you play pretty good defense. The key to that, if you can hold a team down, gives you even more of a better chance to win a ball game. It's very hard to get the kids to buy into that defense is just as important, if not more so, than offense sometimes.
I think human nature, kids want to score. That's fun. That's the fun part of the game. But I think a greater part of that is kids want to win. So when they see defending that they do a great job, and it results in us being able to get a stop in a big possession and win a ball game, they start to buy it. But they've got to see it happen, and they've got to see it work.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, the time flies when you're having fun. The old saying goes, the minutes get by quick here. But it's awfully good to see you again. 2, I know being in that business, I've seen coaches through the years, the most important thing, it's not winning, but it's getting the best you can out of your athletes.
Sure,
and
sure.
That you can only be as good as what their best is.
Yeah.
And you seem to be very good at that. And I'm hoping a great part of the season is still ahead of you. Awfully good to see you. Good luck in the tournament, as the old saying goes. Somebody's got to win that 6A title, right?
That's right.
Might as well be Homewood.
Might as well be Homewood.
Well, I tell you what, good to see you. Good luck, and we look forward to visiting with a couple of your players.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back. Don't you go away.
Sometimes it's all about training. Other times, competing. But every so often, it's about healing. Andrews Sports Medicine's world-renowned team of doctors, surgeons, and specialists use leading-edge technology to treat your specific injury or condition to help you overcome anything. To schedule an appointment, call Andrews Sports Medicine 24 hours per day, 7 days per week at 205-939-3699.
And folks, welcome back. This segment of the show being brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Looking for the insurance agent and staff team where customer service is priority? Agent Alan Jardeau has been serving families in the Birmingham and Trussville area for over 45 years. His office is located in the Trussville area, and they're ready to serve you and have all the services, whether the insurance be auto, home, life, or health insurance. Give them a call today at 205-661-3420, or just drop by at 7299 Gadsden Highway, right by the Emergency Pet Care Hospital in Trussville. Once again, that's State Farm Insurance and Agent Alan Jardeau. And in this segment, where you've got 2 of the outstanding basketball players here for the Homewood Patriots, and what I'm going to do is let each of them tell you who they are and what grade they're in. And we'll start with you.
I'm Marcello Nani, and I'm a senior.
And I'm Pate Owen, and I'm a senior as well.
Okay, guys, now as we get this interview started, first of all, Marcello, I don't know about you. I know Pate is a football player. Do you participate in any other sports?
No, sir, just basketball.
Basketball. And so both you guys are seniors. As you head off to school next year, where do you think you might be going?
I'm going to be at Notre Dame next year.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And how in the world does a guy in Birmingham end up in Notre Dame?
Well, I grew up in South Bend, and both my parents went there. So
Now it makes a whole lot of sense. All right. Well, now, is basketball the only sport that you play?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, going into this season and being a senior, what were your expectations not only for your team but for yourself?
I expected a big season out of myself and a successful season, and so far that's what we've had.
And I know that young gentleman sitting there beside you has had a pretty successful year sports-wise already. And Pate didn't realize back when we had you, I don't even know if I asked the question or not, but did. I don't remember you telling me you played basketball.
Yes, sir.
So what position you play in basketball?
I play center.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, your team, y'all are over 500, but I know, as the old saying goes, there's always room for improvement. And so you're closing in toward the end of the season, getting ready for the playoffs. Now, coaches hope this, and I'm going to ask you too, Pate. You like to be peaking come playoff time. And so is your team playing their better basketball, or do realize that that's when you got to be playing your very best, and you feel good about where you and your teammates are right now?
Absolutely. I think, at this point in the season, you want to be playing your best basketball, and I think we're doing that right now. I think we've shown some really good signs and hopefully just keeping the momentum going.
I know you spend a lot of time studying and a lot of time practicing and playing games. Now, Marcelo, you got to do something to relax and unwind. What do you do?
Me and Pate together coach a rec basketball team. And so that's a fun thing just to do in my downtime.
Yeah. Do you have any hobbies that might surprise us, or do you have any superstitions? Athletes are noted for superstitions sometimes. Do you have anything you could share with us along those lines?
Not particularly. Not really, no, sir.
I was going to say, a lot of times we think just because we put on our uniform a certain way, or we do different characteristics before a game or so, and do it all the time, it's going to make us better. But that's not necessarily the case. So what's going to make you better is how you perform on the floor, right? And most athletes, you're out there to win, not to lose. So you're giving it your best shot. Pate, how about you? Do you have any superstitions, or what do you do to relax and unwind? Because it sounds like you spend a lot of time in the books and on the athletic field.
Yes, sir. I just hang out with my friends and my family to relax, and then also I have a pair of socks I always wear for games, and so I think that helps.
Yeah. Well, please tell me you wash those socks after every game.
I do wash the socks. I make sure they're clean.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you what, do you feel like, and I tell the coaches and I ask the players about it, do you feel like you and your teammates are playing pretty good basketball right now, but you got to be playing your best come playoff time?
Yes, sir. I think we are. Just, trying to play well at this point and just keep the trajectory going upwards.
And so I know you being a senior as well, we've got one going to Notre Dame. Do you know where you'll be going yet?
I do not know yet. I'm still deciding.
Do you think, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you think that football will be the one that you go for in college, or is it basketball, or do you even play baseball?
I do not play baseball, but there have been a couple of colleges that have wanted me to play both.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to sort all of that out.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, just like I was telling the coach before, somebody's got to win that 6A basketball title. Might as well be Homewood, right?
Yes, sir.
So in order to do that, we got to be playing our very best at the end. So I wish all the luck for you in that aspect, and as you go off to college next year. Last question I got, guys, and it's been a pleasure to talk with each of you, but to this point in your young life, and we'll start with you, Pate, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
I would say probably my grandfather. He's always been there for me, and he's really involved in my life, and so I'm very thankful for him.
I'm going to ask you one quick thing about basketball, too. Everybody loves to score, right? But we also know if we play defense and the other team don't score, we got a lot better chance to win. Do you understand how much and how important that defense is?
Yes, sir. I think that's something our program prides itself on, is to play good defense and, let the results come.
If you can keep those games close, you got a chance to win all of them at the end, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, Marcelo, and when it comes to the most inspirational person or persons, who has that been for you?
I'd say definitely both my parents. They're both very hardworking, and they've shown me a good they've done a good job showing me that keeping a balance is important between school and basketball.
Well, I tell you what, guys, you've had a pretty good season thus far. Let's hope that the best is still ahead of you, and that means doing some damage in the playoffs, okay?
Yes, sir.
And so good luck, and you never can tell. Sometimes underdogs bring them state crowns home.
That's right.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. We come back, we're going to change sports. It'll be girls basketball. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Stretch, workout, sweat, repeat. When it comes to fitness, you go 24/7. Now, so does Andrews Sports Medicine. So when an injury interrupts your routine, Andrews offers 24/7 scheduling for most appointments. Andrews Sports Medicine can help you overcome anything, including time. Call them 24 hours per day, 7 days per week at 205-939-3699.
And folks, welcome back. And as we get into this segment of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show, I want to tell you about Hamburger Heaven. And folks, the next time you want to go out to eat, why not Hamburger Heaven? They have the best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and fries in town, and you can finish that meal with one of their award-winning milkshakes. They have 4 great locations to serve you: the original on Highway 280 in Homewood, Irondale, and Gardendale. And remember what the snapper always says: for a hamburger that's out of this world, it's Hamburger Heaven. And in this segment, we're changing sports. In a way, it's still basketball, but it's ladies basketball. And sitting with us, assistant coach Brian Burgess. Coach, good to see you.
Great to see you.
And as we get this segment started, tell us a little bit about your background and how you've ended up here at Homewood High School.
Yeah, I started my career off on the college level, and I really enjoyed my time there, and started a family and got out of college and went to high school. And I'd always told Kevin if I ever had an opportunity to come work with him, I'd love it. And about 4 years ago, that opportunity became available, and we hooked up and been that way ever since.
Well, that's one of those situations where I understand you're coming from the Atlanta area, right? But usually people are going that way.
Yeah.
But of course, tell me a little bit about your background as far as your basketball coaching. What is your philosophy? Every coach has one, whether it be, I want a team that can score, or I want a team that's going to play with defense, or this or that and the other. Talk about what you want out of a basketball team.
Well, it's a lot like what we're playing right now. So I think Kevin and myself, our similarities in terms of philosophy are very similar. It's up tempo, get up and down the floor, get as many shots as you can. Just give yourself a chance to be successful on the floor. And so I love to press. I love to don't really want to run much of an offense. I want to score layups as quickly as we can and get into the pressing. So it's very, very similar to what we're doing now. So.
I was going to say, when you talk about getting into the pressing, scoring, and press, it sort of reminds me a little bit of what you'd see out of a Mountain Brook type team, where I think a lot of times it's hard to get the kids to want to buy into defense, but basketball is no different than any other sport. If the other team don't score a lot, you've got a whole lot better chance of winning, right?
That's absolutely true.
And so from that standpoint and talking about being an assistant, then that means that your aspirations, I guess, are one day to be a head coach, correct?
I've been in that realm. I've been a head coach, and I enjoyed the time as being a head coach. But I'll be honest with you, over the last 4 years of being an assistant, I really enjoy this role. I enjoy being able to give Kevin advice and say, this is what we think we ought to do, and either accepts it, doesn't accept it, which is fine. It's what I like doing now. I love giving advice and going from there.
When it sounds like you're content.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, that's good. Well, now talk about the girls here for a second. What's their record so far this year?
We're 22-2. And
Okay.
so we're having a great season and very excited the direction we're going in right now.
Now, I was going to say, that sounds like a team that probably realizes how important defense can be. Because if you've only got 2 losses, you're doing a lot right, not just something right. But right now, the team is doing something, doing a lot right. But from my standpoint and what's your philosophy on this, I guess every coach, no matter what score or what sport it is always wanting their team to peak at the right time. Now, it don't sound like you guys have witnessed many peaks and valleys on this girls' squad. So how hard is it to keep them as focused when you and I know you want them most focused when playoff time gets here?
You know, I don't really think that that's been a big issue this year. Kevin has done a great job in keeping them focused, and we've been really consistent all year long, from the first game and all the way up to the one that we just got playing on Tuesday night. We've just been consistent. We've been playing hard, playing with a lot of confidence, and this team is a lot of fun to be around and a lot of fun to coach. It's they go out and they play hard every night. They're fun to coach. They really are.
Now, I know you've been in the business quite a few years, I imagine. When it comes to girls basketball, the thing that has impressed me the most through the years is that I remember back when they used to play on one end of the court, offense, then your defense took over. But nowadays, I mean, the girls basketball experience has really blossomed because I guess, for the lack of a better way to put it, sometimes I didn't realize how athletic young ladies can be.
Absolutely.
And so, talking about that just a little bit, you've seen the change from that kind of basketball where the ladies are taking it a lot more serious than they used to, I think.
Absolutely. You know, the game has evolved tremendously just over the last 5 to 10 years, and you're starting to see a lot more young ladies do more things on the floor than you couldn't imagine 10 years ago. So the girls' game of basketball is exciting to watch now, especially with the way that we're playing, up tempo, pressing, getting after it. It's a lot of fun to watch, and our crowds represent that every Friday and Tuesday night when we play.
Well, you know, one thing that's always impressed me as we close in the end of this conversation is that mechanically the girls seem to practice more of the mechanics. One important aspect, free throw shooting.
Right.
Nothing bugs me anymore that can see a guy that can fly sky high but can't hit a free throw when nobody watching, that kind of thing. Or the pure passing, getting more team oriented. So it sounds like that this team is in a really good place, and the thing that they want to do is just put it together. If they've done it 99%, they're only 1% away, but we need to get there if we hope to win that championship, and that's all every coach's goal, I believe.
Absolutely. We're in a great place right now. We feel very confident where we are going into the area tournament with one more area game Friday night, and having the ability of hosting the area tournament and being able to advance further on is exciting. So we're really excited with where the girls are right now and look forward to it continuing to advance through the season.
Well, Coach Burgess, it's good to talk with you, and wish you and the girls and the guys the best of luck along the way. But down the road, like I said, if they just keep playing where they're at, I would be really pleased that playing 90, 95%, 98%, that's pretty doggone good.
It is.
Close to perfection, and as the old saying goes, somebody's got to win that championship. Might as well be Homewood.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. 4 young athletes that have played a very instrumental part in the outstanding season the Lady Patriots have had thus far. We'll be right back.
Sometimes it's all about training, other times competing, but every so often it's about healing. Andrews Sports Medicine's world-renowned team of doctors, surgeons, and specialists use leading-edge technology to treat your specific injury or condition to help you overcome anything. To schedule an appointment, call Andrews Sports Medicine 24 hours per day, 7 days per week at 205-939-3699.
And folks, welcome back. In this segment brought to you by State Farm. Looking for an insurance agent and staff and where customer service is a priority? Well, Agent Alan Jardot has been serving families in the Birmingham and Trussville area for over 45 years. His office is located in Trussville, and they are ready to service all of your insurance needs, whether it be auto, home, life, or health insurance. Give them a call today at 205-661-3420, or just drop by at 7299 Gaston Highway in Trussville, right by the Emergency Pet Care Center. So don't forget that next time you have an insurance need, it's State Farm. And I have a need to talk with some outstanding young basketball players. It's the ladies' side of the ledger. And I've got 2 young ladies here with me, Kennedy Campbell, right?
Yes, sir.
And Anna Grace Gibbons.
Yes, sir.
Well, Kennedy, you're a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Going into your senior season, what was your hopes or your expectations for you and your teammates this year?
I was just hoping that we would all just excel a lot better than we did last year.
Well, now I tell you what, if the record means anything, y'all are doing exactly that. And so it sounds like a lot of teams has peaks and valleys during a season. Y'all haven't been in any valleys. Y'all are on the mountaintop right now. And does that surprise you, Anna Grace, that your team is doing as well as they have this year?
It doesn't surprise me. It just shows me that we work a lot better and we've tried a lot harder this year to get where we wanted to be.
Well, now the one thing that I wonder how you girls feel about this is because I know how coaches do. They always want their teams peaking come playoff time. So I'm not saying y'all have peaked too early. What I'm saying is, buddy, whoever stands ahead of y'all had better watch out because y'all played some outstanding basketball. Now, one thing, Kennedy, about basketball players, most people love to score. But if the thing about it, if you keep another team from scoring, you have a lot better chance to win ball games. So talk about the defensive end. Do you like shutting down somebody better, the person you're guarding, or do you like scoring on them better?
Honestly, I'd rather score on them, but it gives me a lot more momentum when I stop them than I score on them.
Oh, absolutely, because a lot of times then that transition leads to easy baskets, right?
Yes, sir.
And so, Anna Grace, does it surprise you, the success that you and your teammates have had thus far this season?
Not really. I think we could have done it last year. We just didn't have like our head all into it and our heart into it as much as we do this year.
Really? Well, now, girls, I know two things about you before you sit down. One, I know you're pretty smart because if you don't excel in the classroom, you don't get to the basketball court, right? And then the record speaks for itself that y'all are really playing well right now. So that means good athletes, good students. Now here, after all those days in the classroom and then on the basketball court, here's what I want to know, and we'll start with you, Anna Grace. What do you do to unwind and just relax and get away from all that pressure?
Well, when you're on the court, it kind of gives you that to like get away from school or get away from like stress from friends or family problems. And so it's just like kind of helpful.
Really? Now, you're the first person that I've asked a lot of athletes that have sort of said the basketball court is where your good feelings come from or their confidence or whatever. So that's sort of neat. How about you, Kennedy?
I mean, yeah, the court's a good place, I guess, to relax from everyone else. But besides that, I just like to stay home and watch Netflix or something.
You do? Okay. Yeah. Now, one question I like asking young ladies, and we'll start with you, Kennedy. Do you have any hobbies or are you superstitious in any way? The athletes have known to be superstitious.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. That's a good question. And the answer would be, do you have to wear your socks the same way, or do you have to warm up with teammates the same way? You know, and you do feel like if you don't do that, you ain't going to play your best.
Oh, no, I don't, but AG does for sure.
Oh, and I see, that's what I like, teammates that tell on each other, because then you find out the truth. Okay. So, Anna Grace, what do you do?
I have so many superstitions.
That you don't even have time to play?
No, I have time to play, but like when we're on a winning streak, I like to like, this is going to sound really gross.
Oh my God.
But I don't wash my socks or
Go ahead, say it.
or my spandex or like my sports bra.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
of course.
But then when we lose, I wash it all.
Yeah, well, you're winning so much, you don't have many friends, do you?
Oh,
Bless your heart. Anna Grace, you're hanging in there great.
But it's not just
I
that.
know you are. Oh, that's what it is. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. If it makes you think you're better, you keep them socks rolling, my girl, okay? But let me tell you the truth of the matter is, okay? That ain't got nothing to do where y'all are, winning or losing. It's your talent, okay?
Thank you.
Now, a couple of last questions, you girls, because time flies when you're having fun. You see all those zeros? I'm supposed to be off, but I can't let you go yet, okay? Because one thing I would like to know is, in your spare time, what do you like to do? And I mean, is it go to movies or hang out with friends to get away from all that pressure? And we'll start with you, Kennedy.
Yeah, I just really like to hang out with my friends. Sometimes I like to go to work. Sometimes because I work with certain people and they, brighten up my day.
Working and hanging out with friends. How about you, Anna Grace?
I also like to hang out with my friends because, they come and support me at all of our games. So, when they have something, I go support them because, it helps a lot.
I am shocked. Because I thought one of the answers I was going to get is y'all love to shop. Women are noted
I like
for
going to
being
the mall.
Yeah, I figured. Too late now. I done put it in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. But listen, girls, it's awfully nice to talk with you a few moments. I hope your best basketball is still ahead of you because somebody's got to win that 6A championship. Might as well be y'all, okay?
Yes.
So that's what we're going to hang on, okay? All right, to this point, last question, to this point, and we'll start with you, Anna Grace. Who's been the most inspirational person or persons in your life?
Probably my parents because everything I do, they provide for me to do. I couldn't do it without them.
Okay, well, good for you. And how about you, Miss Kennedy?
I would have to say my parents as well.
Okay. Well, girls, the last thing I'm going to say is good luck. Don't let down. Your best basketball is still ahead of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some more players. Don't you go away.
Stretch, workout, sweat, repeat. When it comes to fitness, you go 24/7. Now, so does Andrews Sports Medicine. So when an injury interrupts your routine, Andrews offers 24/7 scheduling for most appointments. Andrews Sports Medicine can help you overcome anything, including time. Call them 24 hours per day, 7 days per week at 205-939-3699.
And folks, welcome back. And in this segment, two more young outstanding female athletes, Anna Harbin, a junior.
Yes.
And what position you play?
I'm a forward.
A forward, okay. And Alex, pronounce your last name.
Hirschbein.
Boy, you can't mess them up. You let you do it. A junior. And what position do you play?
I'm also forward.
Forwards, okay. All right, going into this season, and we'll start with you, Anna. Did you anticipate a season being this successful?
I knew that we could be this successful if we were really focused and had our mindset right. So I did think we could do this.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be harder to get much better than y'all have played, but in order to win a championship. And Alex, do you feel like your best basketball is still ahead of you?
I think we definitely have potential in the future. We have area coming up, and we have high hopes for that.
Well, the one thing, and I know most athletes feel this way, you just hope to be peaking and playing your best basketball when the tournament gets here. So I know you're good, really good players and had an outstanding season thus far. That's all been documented. But what I want to know is what do you do to get away from the pressure of the classroom and the basketball court? Anna?
I go and hang out with my friends, and I definitely stay home, and I watch Netflix or rest just to get away and have a break.
Now, see, you girls have to be pretty doggone good to put together a 20-2 record thus far. Oh, that's pretty doggone good. Yeah, and so it's hard for you to improve, but yet you still want to be playing your best basketball. But what I want to know is, do you have any hobbies do you like to hunt, fish, or is there anything along those lines that takes the pressure off from the classroom and the court?
I don't have many hobbies. I feel like I've just grown up playing sports, so that's what I always do.
When are you saying that? Does that mean you participate in any sport other than basketball?
I play soccer.
Do you?
Yes.
That's a pretty physical sport, too.
Yes.
Nobody ever gets hurt in soccer. No, that's what they used to say, but that's a pretty contact sport, too.
Yes.
But how about you, Alex?
I also play volleyball.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now which one's your favorite sport?
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Yes, sir.
Coach, we didn't hear her say that. but that's okay. I mean, you're well rounded. What would you like to do one day when? And I know you're still a year or two away, one from graduating, a year and a half away or so, but off to school. Alex, what would you like to do one day for a living?
I don't know. It's probably something that has to do with like animals or special needs.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Well, that would be wonderful, but you don't feel like you're being led to be a ladies basketball coach or teacher?
I would love to do it on the side.
Really?
But I don't want it to be my main career.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. I mean, it'd be an awful dull world where all want to do the same thing, right? Okay, how about you, Anna?
I've been interested maybe in like medicine, but I'd love to like coach little kids. I love spending time with kids, so I think that would be really fun.
Well, have you girls, even though it's a year and a half away or so, Anna, do you know where you might like to go to college?
I do not.
You do not? That's all right. That's a pretty good university. We here, I do not a lot. So, how about you, Alex?
Not really.
Not really? All right. Alabama or Auburn?
Alabama.
Oh, God bless you. I see your success written all over you. Alabama or Auburn?
Okay, I would go to Auburn, but I am an Alabama fan.
Oh, boy, now that's a good one. That you snook out of that one. Okay, I was going to say, I was going to pray for you. But let me tell you what, both those great universities, and whatever you hope to do one day, may, wherever you go, get you there. Girls, as we finish this up, I want to know at this point in your young life, and we'll start with you, Anna, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
My parents, definitely, because they've supported me. They go to every single one of my games. They're always there to support me, to take me places. They've always like driven me to practices, never let me miss, never allowed me to like skip anything. So definitely my parents.
Well, good for you. Alex?
I'd probably say my family in general, like extended family as well. Like my grandparents come to almost every single game. And hardly ever miss a game.
Well, and as it goes, the family generally stands by the family like that, and I'm sure they're tickled to death with you girls. But you're successful, I know, off the court as well as on the court. My wish for you and your teammates is that you're playing your very best basketball when the playoffs get there. Okay. And don't let up because you've done well thus far, because then everybody's going to be looking to knock you off. Then y'all just show them why they can't, okay? And so, folks, we've had another great afternoon of visiting with coaches and athletes. We'll do it again next week. But till then, you know what the snapper always says, bicycle.